Now, apps on your phone and other devices, yes, they can inform, entertain, and even distract. But can an exercise app actually improve the mental well-being of stressed out healthcare workers? Well, our next guest has studied just that. Eli Puterman is Associate Professor at UBC School of Kinesiology and a Canada Research Chair in Physical Activity and Health. Eli, hello there and welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thank you.
Why did you even decide to study this in the first place?
So the origin story, I think it's important to start with the origin story, which was the beginning of the pandemic, when everyone was isolating, no one was allowed to use gyms, no one was allowed to go outside, to the national parks or to any parks. We were advised to stay away. And I was working out and I was using these apps for my own health and well-being at the beginning of the pandemic. And I thought, oh, this is a study. I'm an exercise researcher. I'm a health psychologist. I'm doing really well right now because I'm feeling less stressed because of my exercise. This is my time to shine and do this research study on exercise and using apps. So I contacted this company, Down Dog, and used their apps to complete a study, 6-week study, showing that exercise changes depressive symptoms in regular Canadians.
All right. Well, but when you're talking about Down Dog, so what kinds of apps are we talking about specifically?
Down Dog has a suite of apps. One of them is high-intensity interval training. A second one is yoga. A third one is a running app that helps you train with running and interval running if that's what you prefer. And a fourth one is Bar. We completed the study, showed that there's a big change in depressive symptoms in regular Canadians who were not exercising at the start of the study. And as a result of it, I got contacted by Providence Healthcare, and we ended up starting the study with healthcare workers probably in year 2 of the pandemic, where they said, we have a lot of burnout, we have a lot of depression, we have a lot of stress, we have a lot of people leaving the profession and wanting to leave the profession. They know in their hearts that governments and the institutions need to work really hard to fix the situation for healthcare workers, but they wanted an immediate fix, and they saw this article that came out. And so we immediately started this study and completed a 12-week trial last summer, so a year ago, and we showed some really nice, significant changes in depression, burnout, absenteeism in just 12 weeks of exercising at home.
A little bit of movement makes all the difference, or maybe in a lot of movement in some cases. Do they need any special equipment or anything like that to follow these apps?
That's what's beautiful about this app specifically, but a lot of these workout apps at home, you don't need to have any equipment. You need to have a mat so that you're not burning your skin on rugs. But let's say, for example, the high-intensity interval training app, all you need is a mat that is like the size of your body and the length of your body, so you can do some stretches. And that's all, because it's called high-intensity interval training app. It's the HIIT app, but it's just body weight workouts. So push-ups and calisthenics and other types of like using your body as the strength or as a weight in order to improve your fitness and health.
Right. And what was the response like from the healthcare workers that were involved?
So, what was amazing is that within a 3-month period, we recruited 300 healthcare workers, primarily from St. Paul's. There were a mix of nurses, there was a mix of administrators, a mix of technicians as well. And what we found was that, initially, all these women, primarily women and some men, who said, I want to work out, I'm ready, willing, and able, about 60% were ready to use it or started using it, who were randomized to the exercise group, were ready to use it and started using it within 4 times a week, 20 minutes each workout. So they did like a good 80 minutes per week and kept that up over time. There was 60% who started initially with it, and over time, by the end of the study, 12 weeks later, we only had about 20 to 25% using it that consistently.
Right.
We still had 50% who sometimes used it, and then 20% kind of never really initiated, even though they said, I'm ready, willing, and able.
Why do you think that is?
As a stress researcher, I'll always say stress gets in the way of all of our best intentions. It's really hard to just have an app that is the only sole motivator, right? That is the only way that we restructure the way we conceptualize starting to work out. I think that there are many other approaches that we need beyond just like the provision of an app that can support individuals. Working out with another individual can be a way of kind of increasing and having a commitment to someone. So even if you're using an app, having a commitment to use the app with another individual would help. Using the apps outside, trying to diversify and use a variety of different apps, or if you're not an app kind of person, is to go outside and do some other types of workouts. So I just think that with all the best intentions, stress gets in people's ways, and we don't know how to kind of think through those barriers that are going to interfere with getting to the gym or working out at home.
You brought up an interesting point off the top, and that what sparked this whole study in the first place for you was the fact we couldn't go to gyms.
Right.
We couldn't work, we couldn't visit with others, we couldn't connect in person. Now that we can, again, safely, we still try to keep all those safety measures in place, but now that we can, where do the apps fit into the picture in your view?
I think people are still using them and people are still enjoying them. I don't think that, all the equipment that people were purchasing for their home are probably sitting in the corners. You have your diehard Peloton people who will always use it at home and just adore it, and they love their workouts there. I think the apps have a nice position in our lives where we can, if there's no time to do the 2-hour trek to the gym, because think about the gym experience. It does take a while to get there. I think the app provides this, or all apps provide an opportunity to do something at home within a 10-minute framework, even if that's all you have, right? We conceptualize exercises like, I need to go to the gym for an hour-long class or an hour-long workout. And if we can reconceptualize that as to I want to do something fun that's moving my body for even a 10-minute period, dance around the room, use an app, whatever it is, I think that there's a way of maybe using apps more often within the home space.
Well, I don't think anything of what you've told me about this study is actually surprising, but I think that reminder is important. And what about, some tips to stick with it?
Yeah, so I think there are many different ways to stick with it. I think one of the best predictors of sticking with a new exercise program is actually finding something that you enjoy. That is the biggest. So some people will say the biggest predictor is setting goals, which is really true. You have to set goals. You have to put it in your calendar. You have to come up with plans for okay, if I miss Tuesday, where am I going to go next? What other day will I have a 10-minute period to do this workout? Goal setting is really important and overcoming barriers. But finding something you enjoy and something that you can stick with will then lead to continuing to do the exercise that you're committed to.
A great playlist helps too to keep
a great playlist.
Yeah,
I completely agree. The right type of music, the right type of people who are supporting you, the right type of people to work out with. They're going outside, green exercise. There's so many ways to diversify, to find variety in the types of workouts that you're doing, and to gain pleasure from it.
Hey, thanks for the inspiration today, Eli. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.